We are back, and we've been gone for a week. We had some stuff going on, but we're back here, guys, and Captain Mike is here, and Donovan's here, and I'm here. Yay, me.
Yay.
The most important thing of all is this right here. That's more important than the show. The show can end right now.
That's it.
Bam, bam. And let me ask you, you see that right there? Who are you guys? Who are you?
Yeah, you know what? I'm sitting right here.
Comparatively speaking.
Thanks, Zippy.
Zippy.
Oh,
Sonia's here.
hey, Sonia.
Sonia's here. And look who was here very first of all, like at 6:30. Dale was here. He was here early.
Good job, Dale.
GJ's here. And they're having a good conversation. Kevin is back. Kevin's back. I hope you guys missed us. You know, the interesting thing last week, Mike was going to be on a secret mission. I think he's working in the Middle East or maybe somewhere. He couldn't tell me. Anyways, he was going to be gone on Tuesday. And I said, that's fine. And then it occurred to me, the debate was that Tuesday anyways. So, whoa.
What debate?
Yeah, I know. What debate? So, we have a special message here. Special message. Good evening, Mike.
Oh, okay. Well, now I got one. Where's one for Donovan?
I'm good without. It's fine. You don't have to feel obligated.
I want it noted that I got Zippy, you got GJ. That's the way it goes. I have outstanding news before we even get started. Some amazing news. Donovan and I don't know if you guys have gone to the police applicant YouTube channel, but Donovan and I test drove our new studio. New studio yesterday, and let me tell you, it puts this studio to shame. Oh, hold on.
Oh, look at that! I got one. All right.
Yeah, but hi is in lowercase letters. What's going? Hi. Hi, Donovan.
Hey, so I'll take what I can get.
Hey, whatever you can get out of it. Hi.
So what happened? What happened was, I got to tell you my whoa story. Is that this is StreamYard, as you can tell by the top there. But StreamYard, I've been with them for 4 years, I think, 4 years, and it was like $96 a year. I was grandfathered in a price tier that was $96 a year to use a studio, and then they were bought by a corporation. And then they decided this year they're going to raise my rate to over $400 a year for this studio. So I said, forget that. So we went out and got a new studio, and we're going to be here next week with we're going to unveil the new studio.
Wow, they must want to go out of business, I guess.
I don't know why anybody would do that, but
yeah, it's what the market will bear, I suppose. Hey, Kevin brought up a good point. I want to talk about it real quick. I saw Dale was the first one on too. Dale's book has been flying off the shelves. If you haven't gotten it, read it, talked about it, passed it on, rated it on Amazon, you need to do that. I know that he sold hundreds of signed copies already. Dang. And he is now a book magnet, as far as I can tell. And it's awesome that he's finally getting his story out there after so many years.
That's pretty cool.
Got to be cathartic for him as well.
Is how do people get a signed copy of his book?
Well, they could just get hold of Dale. Dale, you can probably throw something on there real quick about an email or whatever. He's very responsive. I know that he's getting them dozens at a time, and he's selling out of them by the time he gets them, and he signs them and he sends them off.
Good.
Only one anxious one. It's called Damage Control by Dale Happy Hedges, and you can go on to Amazon, and or if you get hold of Dale, you'll be able to do it through him and get the signed copy.
Yeah. So,
thanks,
Dale,
Anna.
If you have some kind of I don't know, like a business email address where they can get a hold of you, we can put that up here too. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. I hope we had something to do with that, getting him on the show. I mean,
I'm sure we did. He's going to owe us a residual here pretty quick, but You know, I'll be waiting for that as long as I'm waiting for your 25 cents you're going to give me from the StreamYard monitor.
It's going to the new studio.
I think that, yeah. I think
Yeah.
maybe the $2 we have went to the new studio.
Yeah, well, you get what you pay for.
Well, we just pulled up some bar stools, and then we're in the shortstop. We're at the shortstop. And,
Well, you know what? You can see my picture change. The shortstop went disco, so I had to find another bar down the street for the night. But
I was gonna say, what's going on here? You got a piano bar going on?
yeah, it's a fancy pants. Look at the piano, and
Look at that.
of course it's empty except for me. But
Well, my bar is empty too.
yeah, well, it makes service quicker.
So we decided that we're just going to shoot from the hip tonight. We got some stories that we wanted to talk about because I would get together at a bar, order some drinks, and then say, "Hey, so what's going on in the world with you guys?"
Yeah.
And Donovan decided to join us too.
Cool. This is a perfect night for it too, man. That shit's flying off the rails here, and
That's right.
It's something that we can get liquored up and talk about.
Let's get started with this here. So everybody knows the golf course happened, and some guy was hiding in the bushes, waiting for Trump to come by. And then after this all happened, Hillary Clinton comes on some show, MSNBC of all stations, and she says Trump poses a danger to our country and the world after somebody wanted to kill him. That's a brilliant person right there. And
Oh,
then there's this guy, Ryan Ruth, and we got an interactive map we're going to pull up. I'm going to let Mike take this because Mike has done the all the studying on this as far as I know. But
well, I didn't do diddly squat behind this.
you're the expert. Like on this show, when we say we have expert, coming in, Mike Borman,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
who's a
see.
show
That's
contributor.
what
So
it
what do
is.
you got?
That's what it's coming down. That's what it's coming down to. Well, I know that there was another person that was quoted on X that said, "Well, if the guy didn't get a shot off, how can it be an attempted assassination?" And I guess it's like, well, I guess he's got to get dinged in the head or something, shot in the ear before anybody considers it an attempt. I did want to talk about the sniper's nest that the guy had, but I think we should do your interactive thing here real quick to kind of give an idea of where this guy was and how unprotected it was, even though you've got one of the most threatened people in the world here out there playing around at golf, and nobody's supposed to even know he's there.
Okay, so I found this. I'm going to scroll, and then what it does is it kind of zooms in at the locations. So what you're seeing there is hole 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I don't know if you guys can see it or not on your screen. At the bottom, it says Trump was playing at hole 5 when a Secret Service agent spotted an assault rifle sticking out of the bushes at 6. So you can see here the suspect fled, abandoning his weapon. But if you look right there where that circle is, that's where Homie Fry was sticking the rifle through. So where's the T?
Looks like the tee. It's a water hole. It looks like there. No, that doesn't make sense. I see the tee box for 5, and 6 must. It looks like it might be a water hole, and there's a sand trap behind it. I can't really tell. But the bottom line is, it's at a busy intersection where 2 streets intersect, and apparently this guy was there for like 12 hours, hiding in the weeds, eating his pizza. Getting ready to take a shot. Which, the bottom line is, how would he know that Trump was going to be there?
Yeah.
Or was he just, I'd like to see his phone ping, because maybe he was doing this commonly, and maybe he was just waiting for an opportunity. I'll tell you what, I give the Secret Service agent credit, man. I mean, at least they didn't go, halt, freeze, what are you doing? It's like, just take out the gun and cap some rounds in his direction. And I'd also like to see if those backpacks got hit by the rounds, because that's why he had those there in the first place. So,
You were saying
Go
there
ahead.
was some kind of armor plating in the back?
yeah, there were each backpack had a ceramic plate in it. The type that you put in your bulletproof vest. And you've got a picture of it, I think. And you'll be able to see that he mounted them on the fence, and right next to the plate, well, between the plates is the rifle that he dropped that's still sticking out of one of the holes. And then the GoPro is up on the left. He had that mounted too. I'd sure like to see that GoPro to see if he was pre-filming anything, because it's clear that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to film himself killing the president.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. On the right-hand side here, you've got the two backpacks with the plates in them, and the rifle is right in between. I mean, he was planning on maybe taking fire, and that's why he had the plates there. Somebody originally thought, oh, he's going to strap those on his back and run away. No, he's got them mounted there for a reason, and that is to protect himself while he's firing at Trump. And the GoPro up on the left was going to give him an opportunity to become a hero in his mind and have his own version of a Zapruder film, of what he was about to do. But this dude apparently is one sick puppy, man. He's got like 75 arrests. And I guess most recently they talked to a nurse that was over in Ukraine when he was there, and she said that all he talked about was wanting to assassinate global leaders and how he had made plans to kill them. And it freaked her out so much that she called the Fed. You know what the Fed did? Nothing. She never heard back. She never heard back from them until, guess when? This week. You told us that this guy was going to kill somebody and we ignored you, but now I think he was going to kill somebody. What did he say? And it's like, what the, the Fed, man, I'll tell you. But like I said, these ground guys and girls that do that job, they're all wonderful. And I wouldn't badmouth them, but, they put themselves in the line of fire. I mean, this guy's got a handgun shooting at a guy with a high-powered rifle with a scope.
Oh, yeah.
He was outgunned, but the other guy was a bunny rabbit, turned tail and ran, which is good. But I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
And it looks like the rifle is sticking between the backpacks too.
Right. Yeah, it looks like he had it mounted there, like he was in a position where he could either sit or lay out, and have that as a mount for him. That would have stabilized the rifle pretty well. And I think with a scope, I think it was an SKS kind of rifle, with a scope and a mount like that, 300 yards with somebody who knows how to shoot a gun is nothing. And here we go again. I just, it's eerie. Somebody tries to take a high-powered rifle and kill the guy twice in 2 months, and Hillary says that he's the one causing it all. It blows me away that the inflammatory BS rhetoric coming out of people. It just blows me away. We've got crazies on both sides, right? The crazy far right and the crazy far left, but those seem to be the voices that everybody's listening to these days. And especially when you've got people like Kamala Harris and everybody else continually pumping this bullshit stream down everybody's throat about Trump's Project 2025 and how he's a threat to democracy, and how he's going to, become a dictator and lead us all into slavedom, and they just keep pumping this crap out, and nobody calls them out on it. I mean, even today I saw she was, he went to that Association of Black Journalists, I think, the same thing where Trump got sideswiped several times by him.
Yep.
And she says the same crap. He's a danger to democracy, and how can he, be allowed to be here? And it's just like, Jesus. Remember the days when a guy would get up and say, my friend across the aisle is wrong, and I believe, Yeah. Now there's no social discourse. There's no honor. There's no integrity. There's nothing. Everybody is just mad all the time, pointing fingers all the time, and getting more. Maybe that's why the right and the left fringes are getting more attention, because people are pushing away from the middle, and they're all ending up toward the far right or far left. And it's frightening, man. I just hey, Dan, man, long time no see.
Squirrel.
Good to hear from you, man. Yeah. And especially since you said I'm right, I really appreciate that. But
Mike doesn't hear that often.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, I know. Don't tell Zippy you said that.
Zippy.
But it's just the hyperbole has to stop, man. I don't know how it's going to happen. Regardless of which way this election goes, it's going to be a contentious 4 years, no matter who's in office. Everybody's still going to be hating on everybody, unless we get, not. I guess she never says I'm right.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, but
I got nothing to say about that.
Yeah, I know. What do you do with that? But the bottom line is, I think we're going to have to get past the 4 years. We're going to have to get past Trump. We're going to have to get past Harris, whoever's in office, and try to find some cooler heads, man. But where do you find them? The cooler heads, the people that are more in the center, are the ones who get ridiculed and slapped up.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Juno. Take that, Zippy.
Thanks, Juno.
Yeah, Zippy. And you see that was all in caps. No. So, anyways, that's my take on it. I think that we're in a very dangerous time in America, and that also sounds like, just boilerplate BS, but it's not. I mean, we're in a horrible place right now. Mm-hmm. Like where I'm living now, people, they fly Trump flags, and nobody tries to firebomb them or rip the flags down or punch them out. They're doing things like in LA, you can't do that. You can't fly a Trump flag or anything Republican related. I mean, you'd get attacked. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's incredible. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and here Kevin's got a really good comment there. A legitimate press would help. Not would help
Right.
Mike. Would help.
Yeah. It would help me. Yeah, it'd help me too. Well, that's, you can see it. What happened like during the debate? I'm not going to debate the debate because I think she got under his skin in about 10 seconds, and that was it. But they made sure that they fact checked that son of a gun every step of the way. And she was, again, Trump's Project 2025. He said he's going to be a dictator. He said it's going to be a bloodbath if he doesn't win. It's all bullshit. And they just sat there, didn't say a frickin' word. And on a couple of things where they fact checked him, it turns out their fact checks were in fact wrong. And it's just, yeah. I mean, Kevin's right, man. It's just all political theater. I mean, you might as well go to the Soviet Union where the government owns the press, right? Because that's kind of what's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're all in lockstep too. And as far as covering for her and all that kind of stuff, but they're not helping any at all. The liberal press is in cahoots with the Harris campaign and all that, and they don't ask any really hard questions. They like, hey, Trump, so what's your policy here? Hey, Kamala, what's the weather tomorrow? What are you going to wear?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, well, she wants to be unburdened by what has been. And I mean, but the press to me is just malignant. It's a malignant force. And they are, like you said, in lockstep with whoever's in power right now. So, it's just, it's disgusting, and it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to this country and what we've, fought for over the last 290 years or whatever the heck it is. But I don't see an end to it. I really don't. And, depending on how things play out, man, they could be looking at a civil war at one point from the left or the right. Mm-hmm. So, and they're just, I just saw something the other day where they were talking about the happiness scale. Some company does this thing about what countries are the happiest around, and Finland won by a landslide apparently because everybody's happy up there, right? Probably because there's nothing to do. But it's very cold up there. But the Finnish people, I mean, I actually know a few that have come through the United States, but they get the crap taxed out of them, but they're very happy about it. Mm-hmm. And the United States actually dropped out of the top 20. And you would think, we're the largest, most productive democratic society on the planet, and nobody's happy.
Dukakis.
Man, I love Dukakis, man. Dukakis was a good dude. In fact, I met him and Daryl Gates at some function they were having at LAPD, and they were both cool dudes. You knew where they were coming from, and they were They believed in law and order and taking care of people and protecting society. And now we got a bunch of jelly bags out here just saying whatever it takes to get elected. And what do you do? I mean, California, we're lost. I mean, it's gonna take beyond my lifetime to swing the pendulum back. I know people try, but they get, the Democrats have a super majority in California.
Yeah, they're not going to learn though.
Yeah,
I'm a little. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say that the tax structure is getting worse and worse, and they're like, we've been spending like drunken sailors, and we need a paycheck, so we're going to tax the air, and we're going to tax the miles on your car, even if you're driving an electric car. We're going to. I don't know how the hell they're going to do that unless they get access to your odometers or something. It's already between the Fed and the state here in California. It's 40%. At least 40%. It could go as high as 44%. And that's just outrageous. Those are Finland rates, and I'm not happy. So man, I'd pay 40%, go to Finland and save 4% on my taxes, and be happy.
Yeah. Well, we can't say much because in Washington we're number 3 in the country now. So you guys are number 1.
For?
Gas prices, we're number 3, yeah. So
hey, I got to tell you, I was on a secret mission, and it was back east. It wasn't the far east; it was actually Boston in that area. But we went to somewhere, might even have been Nantucket, where it's all wealthy and people are preppy and they're wearing Dockers and loafers and they got the sweaters tied around their necks and everything. And we're driving by, and the bus driver goes, "Look at those gas prices. Oh my God." And I'm like, it's $1 less in California, and you're bitching about it.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. And everybody just, and a couple of people, only a couple were from California. They're all like, oh yeah, we're getting T-boned out here, and nobody says anything. All they do is, we've had 3 tax hikes relative to gas and roads. And every time they do it, they say it's only going to go to roads, and not a dime of it goes to roads. It all goes to their little, Peter Piper plans where they want to save somebody something, and give away money to somebody. And it's just, they're like, oh, this isn't working, so we're going to need to do another gas tax, because we have so many illegal aliens coming in here. We got to teach them English and give them credit cards and stuff. So, we need another tax.
Well,
and it's just...
You guys dodged a bullet because Newsom vetoed that $150,000 to illegal immigrants for houses.
Well, yeah. I mean, I remember that big thing about reparations, which I think is a joke. I never owned a slave, and I don't know anybody that ever was a slave. And a lot of people I know that are of color were making a lot more money than I was. But he at least knocked down that reparations thing too. I think they wanted to give like $1 billion to here. I understand your great mammy's grandpappy, was a slave somewhere in 1620, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I grew up in poverty, and I'm a white kid. Where's my reparation? But it's just, and you know what that is too? It's another way of tearing us apart, trying to show that people are different, and
I'm a little worried about you guys out there in California though, because it's like God's like testing stuff out. Let's see, earthquake.
Well,
earthquake.
You know what? And fire. When you say God is testing, I mean, I assume you mean insurance companies, because they are canceling the hell out of. We had a couple of things canceled. You pay them for 30 years, and they're like, California is a fire zone. Did you know that? And I go, yeah, I know. It's okay. Well, we're canceling you. And at first, the only place that we could find to reinsure us, along with all our neighbors up here, was that California Unfair Plan, where they charge you $1 bazillion, and it doesn't even cover all your property. Mm-hmm. We were lucky. We squeaked in with another company, but I tell you what, like State Farm, Allstate, all those big companies are pulling out of California, and they're forcing you into the FAIR plan because they want to be able to share the damage from the next fire or earthquake. But yeah, man, depending on how things go, I think we'll be packing up the truck and loading up the truck and move to
Loading up.
Nevada. Well,
Yeah.
there's no state income tax in Nevada, right? That saves me at least 9% on my income taxes. And it's like, pfft, okay. And I mean, I grew up here. I was born in LA, and I had never planned on leaving California, but man, I'll tell you what, they've made it really hard to stick around because they just don't care. They don't give a crap.
The fires, out in we moved from Riverside County, but we were reading that Riverside County area was being evacuated too, and I'm like, what the heck, man?
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny. We have a place in Henderson as well, where Dale lives, and they were getting the California smoke. And I got a picture from somebody, and it was like you couldn't even see the Caesar's Palace sign through the smoke. I mean, it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
We need all, just let California have itself, have all the conservatives move into Washington State and Oregon and Nevada and all that, and let's take over all this.
I don't know if they're going to do that because those two states are pretty blue.
Yeah.
I always talk to people when we moved up here. People, we go to dinner and people go like, "Yeah, I can't stand Washington. The politics are perfect." Blah, 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 blah. And I said, "Let me tell you about California."
Yeah, but
and then at the end of it, well, Mike, this is my story.
Go
My
ahead.
story, Mike.
Go ahead.
No, I don't know what I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say. Oh,
I don't remember what I was going to say either.
and after I would get done with my story about California, they would always go, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, we like it here." So California makes Washington State look like it's a walk in the park.
We're giving them a run for the money right now. We are giving California a run for the money right now.
I don't see it.
Well, you see, that's the thing. People where you eat, which is probably like a Cracker Barrel or something, because you're a cracker. But but they'll bitch about it, but they won't vote with it. You've got people like, this is horrible. I can't stand this anymore. Look what they did to, all these towns and cities, and they blew it up. They blew it up, and what do they do about it? I'm going to vote for that blue state, and what do you do?
That's what they're doing in the presidential. You could ask people, go, what does Harris stand for? I don't know.
Joy.
She's just so fun. She's really
cool. She stands for joy, and and she's against Trump's Project 2025, and she's against Trump's dictatorship, and we're going to make sure that he doesn't live to see. It's like, oh mercy.
And then there's GJ. He's up here too. So, I just think that coming from being a California refugee, coming up here, I'm not having too bad a time, but I think I would go nuts if I was still in California, though.
Oh, you. Well, fortunately, I mean, most of the time we spend is up in Central California, which is a lot more reasonable politics. Kind of like a throwback to, when Dukakis was governor. But, I mean, there's some counties that are way up north that are really red. I mean, they're crimson red, but they're minorities. You go down to L.A. and the South Central and in East L.A. sections and everything, and the Democrats have them by the wallet. Oh, here, you want some free shit? Here, take it. You want a free phone? You want a free mortgage? You need a credit card for something? You want to buy a house? Sure, here.
Mm-hmm.
What tells me that they're lost is that they keep voting for free stuff in the millions, but they're in a deficit. They don't have the money, so I'm not sure where they're getting all the money from.
Okay, I just gave you a lesson on taxation. All right, that's where they're getting the money from. And they're in a deficit all the time, and that's the thing. We're running out of money. Okay,
doesn't California have the highest number of people on welfare and?
Oh, I have no clue.
Homeless?
I know they have the highest people.
Highest people.
Yeah,
Highest people.
So
yeah, but it's maddening.
We got another story that's just it's a travesty. We have a story that's a travesty.
Travesty of justice. Let's see it. What do you got?
I got this going on here. Look at this. You know what? I didn't know. I don't even know who this guy was until the story came out. I guess he plays football.
He played football, and
plays football.
after this arrest, he got out, and I think he went and scored 4 touchdowns. So, he wasn't suffering. I see that the officer gave him a Vulcan neck pinch during the arrest.
Yeah,
I want to. You have the video of this, right?
I do.
Let's watch a little bit of it, and then we'll.
Newly released
Don't knock on my
police
window.
Video shows the moments Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill was detained Sunday. Miami-Dade police say they stopped Hill just outside the stadium hours before the season opener for speeding and reckless driving.
Keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. Get out. Get out.
And don't tell me what to do.
Get out.
And they were banging on his window. You saw that, right?
Yeah, don't knock on my window like
You
that.
understand? You understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you. You're a little confused.
I'm getting out, bro.
Too late.
Chill,
Too late.
All right, bro, take
Too
me
late.
to jail, bro. Do what you gotta do.
We are. We will.
Officers then taking Hill to the curb, appearing to force him to the ground before
Look
handcuffing
at them
him.
forcing him.
He was already handcuffed.
Oh, look. That was forceful.
You in your ears when we told you to put your window down.
Bro, chill, bro.
Teammates arriving at the scene, later handcuffed by police too. Towards the end of the incident, officers trying to explain why they initially pulled Hill over.
Driving reckless, that's behind the turnpike, and that's the reason they called out your vehicle, saying you were driving reckless.
But
on
they
the
don't
radio.
still give you no reason to pull me, snatch me out my car, dude.
Hill, who was released and went on to play in the game, responding to the body camera video, telling NBC he's embarrassed and shell-shocked, insisting he wasn't speeding or being disrespectful.
If I wasn't Tyreek Hill, Lord knows I probably would have been. You'd have been locked up. I don't like dividing people, man.
Right.
I like bringing people together.
The police union that
Bullshit.
represents those officers claiming Hill was not cooperative. The Miami Dolphins saying in a statement, while we commend MDPD for taking the right and necessary action to quickly release this footage, we also urge them to take equally swift and strong action against the officers who engaged in such despicable behavior. The police department opening an internal investigation and placing one of the officers involved on administrative leave. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Because why?
Okay, let's discuss.
Let's discuss.
They pull this clown over, and I don't know him. I got nothing against him. I like football, and but you could tell immediately. Don't knock on my window like that. What are you talking to me like that for? What do you do? Blah blah blah. And the officer that was doing the yapping screwed up. I'm going to say that because I think he overreacted. He got mad. And all the other poor guys that are there are just like, hey, dude, come. We all have body cam, remember? But he does all this, and he's calling everybody bra, which, okay, fine. And they let him go. Okay, fine. And then he does a press conference after this, after that one that you just saw, where he says, I look back on it, I've reflected, and it puts my contract in jeopardy. So, hey, I'm really sorry I did that, and I wish I would have acted better. I believe that all of us deserve a second chance. We learn from our mistakes, and that's what I believe, and that's what I want to pass on to other people. Well, what do you think of what should happen to the officers today? They should have that opportunity too? No, they need to go. They need to be fired. And it's like, well, wait. What a hypocrite. It's like the cop screwed up. Bottom line is, he did. But, so did he. I mean, Hill's the one who precipitated it. And he wants forgiveness, and he wants to be able to move on and make his bazillion-dollar contract and play football. But the guys that were even just there, they all need to be fired. Fuck them, get rid of them. And it's like, where's the justice in that? You see things like this happen all the time, where some knucklehead precipitates something, and then all of a sudden they're the victim.
Mm-hmm.
It blows me away.
Yep.
And I think didn't the Dolphins come out and make a statement as well?
Well, you saw what they said initially, that they're glad they sent out the footage, but they need to slap that officer down. And I'm if they just slapped the one guy down, fine. But the other poor souls that were there, it's like, why should they all get mixed in the same pie mix? Get screwed with as well. I mean, he overreacted. Hill overreacted. Let's dust each other off and learn from our mistake and move on. Now, I understand that the cop has some prior issues, and I wouldn't be surprised to find him on the unemployment line soon. But the other guys, I mean, let it go.
Is that your prediction, Mike?
My prediction is he's going to get some kind of discipline that's not going to make him happy.
I think I'd fire him.
Yeah. I would not want to be him right now.
No.
You know, it was very public. It's very embarrassing the way he was yelling, and, you know, it's just a cooler head should have prevailed.
Well, he was uncooperative, and the cop was a little over, but they don't mention him at all. It's just the cop.
Yep.
Well, exactly, and they're like, "Oh, the officers tried to explain to him why he was pulled over." I mean, tried to explain. Said you were speeding like a bat out of hell on the turnpike, and we stopped you. What is trying to explain? But you know what? That's that little nuance that the press does. It's the same thing with Trump did this and Trump did that and Trump is bad and Trump did that. And, you know, what's the other thing they say? Okay, God, you're going to get me going now because, you know, she started talking about Roe v. Wade today. And she said, you know, it should be back at the federal level. And if it comes to me, I'm going to sign this back at the federal level because this is what everybody wants. But then she goes on to say that 20 states have already, created new laws behind abortion, which is what they should have been able to do in the first place because it's a states' rights issue, not a federal issue. But she, one hand she's saying, well, everybody wants Roe v. Wade, but why are these 20 states doing completely different? That's because that's what each individual state wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Diana's on fire. She's on fire tonight. Okay.
Diana for the win. It's not about fairness. It's not about compromise. It's about you don't get anything, I get everything. So that's basically how it works. But as far as this football thing goes, this wasn't there some kind of racial thing where they said they pulled him over because, but how can you even see in the car?
You couldn't even tell. You wouldn't be able to tell if that was an alligator driving that car because the windows were so tinted out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It would be cool if it was an alligator, but
yeah. The other thing I love is during the video when they're trying to get him to sit down, and he keeps saying, "Oh, my knee, brah. I just had surgery," and then they run to the clip of him racing down the field to the end zone. Looks like his knee was really hurt.
No, you know what? Forcing him down on the ground like that, you saw where they forced him down. That fixed the hitch in his giddy up, and it made him a lot faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a police officer for a couple minutes, and I'm going, where's the forced part? Where they forced him down?
Well, and it says before handcuffing him, which was wrong because he had already been handcuffed on the ground. So I don't know where they're getting that from, unless they were going to handcuff him twice. But it was a travesty. It's stupid. And stuff like that happens all across the nation every day. Somebody precipitates something. Somebody shoots at a cop, and then all of a sudden they're the victim because the police shot back. And it's just, I feel like sometimes I'm in a vomitorium, and there's no way out.
Mm-hmm.
A whatatorium?
Vomitorium.
A vomitorium.
Makes me vomitous.
You know what's cool with Donovan is we'll be in a podcast and he's over there on his computer pulling up stats, pulling up stuff. And he's got if you need something, Donovan is on it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, Ken, did you hear why he didn't want to roll his window down?
He was hot.
He doesn't like the attention. He was afraid someone would have a camera. He doesn't want the attention.
Because he's that special?
Well, that was counterintuitive, wasn't it?
Why don't you
I don't want the attention, motherfucker. Get away from my car. Oh, okay. You're right. Let's let him go. He's a shy man.
Mike's all on fire tonight.
He is.
It just I guess you just get to that point sometime. And this week with some of the things that were going on, I was just like, holy, what are we doing here? You know, I almost feel like I'm in like a nightmare and somebody needs to slap me up and wake me.
Zippy.
I didn't mean that,
for you.
Zippy, so don't be slapping me.
Zippy, you're on.
Don't be
Zippy.
slapping me and waking me.
Zippy to the studio. Zippy to the studio.
Yeah. And bring your gloves. All right.
Your gloves.
Ken has been dying to use that.
I've been using that.
That's great.
Mike to the studio. Mike, please come to the studio. Spill on aisle 4.
So,
Well, hey, does that new streaming service have that same ability? Oh, you just knocked
yeah,
yourself out of. There you go. You're out of focus. Oh, thanks, Zippy.
we'll see.
Yo, man, she's small, but she's wiry. Yeah.
Howard Hughes used to drive bay Chevys to avoid attention.
Yeah, and he wasn't crazy.
He was. There's nothing wrong with him. I just want to emphasize for our viewing audience. Will do. Okay, that's where that goes. You know, I feel like Zippy is Zippy's watching you, and you make one wrong move, Captain Mike.
That is not supposition, pal. That's the reality of my life.
We have one last story. This is you know what, the thing about this next story is I don't want to make any jokes because this is serious. Okay? So
Well,
I'm just
then
gonna
don't.
play the story. I'm going to play the story. Oh, restricted age only. Hang on.
I'm 14.
I was able to view that. Donovan, can you see if you can pull that up at all?
Yeah, give me a second here.
I might be able to. Hang on, guys. It's really worth it.
I might have sent you something on that too.
It should just be on YouTube. Because okay. I'll get it on YouTube because I'm signed in on.
I sent it to you at 10:49.
I know exactly what time I sent you.
And you deleted it without reading.
That's what
And mine was not age restricted.
It's only because I signed in on another doohickey. Let me see here. That's too long. That wasn't the one I wanted. I don't want to talk to him at all. I know the.
I wonder why that one is age restricted. I mean,
It's because I had to sign in on another screen, and so that's why it there was no login on it. But I know the where I got it from because it was a nice short one.
Mike, it might have been saying that Ken's too old to view that.
oh, I can understand.
You be quiet. You just be quiet.
They didn't say. Yeah, they didn't say which way the age restriction was.
How long is that? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Hang on, folks.
You're losing the audience. Come on, let's go.
Don't go away, audience. I got you covered here. I got you covered. Here we go. Let's see here.
Oh, viewer discretion advised. I love that.
Pager attack. This is true. This is true.
It gives a whole new meaning to the term, my phone is blowing up.
Look at this inside this guy's car, man. Oh no, he had a page.
Now look at how many guys are sitting there with their butts blown off. There's like 10 of them sitting on the floor with holes in their butts.
Well, the thing is, this is very dramatic. This news.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, it's like live on scene.
First such major attack. The attack of the pagers.
Well, Hezbollah isn't just backing Hamas; they're actually firing rockets into Israel. But I would say it was a bold and brilliant maneuver, but I think it was also provocative to the point where there is now going to be a retaliatory something going on. And I mean, somebody sat around a chalkboard and thought this up. And the last I heard, there were like 2,800 pagers that went off. And man, I mean, what do you say about it? What say you?
Well, I say that I just found out there's still pagers around.
That's the whole thing about the pagers is they're safer.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they said that they can't be tracked like cell phones can. Well, somebody found out a way to track them. Now I wonder if they were booby trapped with some type of explosive, or if there's some malware in there that they could activate that would cause it to spark and ignite or something. I don't know, but it was. There's an evil genius somewhere that thought that up. It's incredible.
It had to be brutal. I think that somebody was there going, "Let's play a game. Who's the terrorist?"
Well, and I will say they targeted Hezbollah, and I think it's fine that the terrorist now gets to know what it feels like to be the victim of terror, right? I mean, because they go blow shit up with impunity, and they don't care. They let civilians get killed. They don't care. And all of a sudden, you start blowing some butts off, and now all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh, that's not fair. Why'd they do that?" But there's going to be a retaliatory something somewhere. I can guarantee that. But man, what a boom!
We do know it wasn't a coincidence. Rumors abound about who is responsible for it, but I can't see them like not knowing how this all happened. But the interesting thing is, I've read some stories about that the big batch of batteries were messed with, so that when they overheat, they blow up, and all. Who knows? But the thing is, though, it wasn't a coincidence, and a bunch of guys' nuts blown off.
Yeah. Well, and it's not an overheating issue because they all went off at the same time, so everybody got a page. It was a group page. And if you look down at it, it said "boom, motherfucker," right before it went off. But that's the first cuss word I've used tonight, I think.
That's right. And you know what though? You're talking about pagers, Donovan. Is that this is another generation, because who puts their pagers in their pants? You don't put them in your pocket.
Right.
You look over at them, the pager goes off, you look over and you go, I'm not going to call that person back. But these were in their pockets, right? You see all the explosions are right where their pocket was.
Where their nut sacks were?
Yep. And
so that's mixed nuts.
Yeah, I gotta say, Juno has this right though.
Yeah, exactly.
It is, man, because it's like movie stuff where I don't see. The funny thing is though, there's nobody coming out. Not even the other like bad states like Iran and all that. They're not coming out going, "This is bull. This is a terrorist act." They're not saying anything.
The terrorist. How dare you? They could sue them for impersonating a terrorist.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, see, Iran's emissary also got injured, so Iran is probably ratcheting up stuff right now too. But man, I mean, talk about being close to a big war. We are close to a big war, because if those countries go off, we're gonna be right in the middle of it.
Well, good thing. That reminds me. I'm glad there's no soldiers out in those areas.
That's right. Do you have that video?
Let's see if I can find it. Everybody stand by.
That's another story we need to talk about, because I think it was an immediate live community fact check. And it's the kind of fact checking that should be going on all the time for both sides, everybody.
Okay, I'm gonna find it.
I sent it to you at 10:59. I don't know when I sent it to you, but I know I did.
Oh, did you send it to me?
I do believe. Let me look and see.
Let me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
1047.
go find it.
1047.
Donovan, Mike
I'm
sent it
looking.
to me. He's time stamping me, man.
Absolutely.
It sounds like he needs to.
I'm getting time stamped.
But it doesn't
You know-
matter because he just ignores it.
I don't want to. I don't want to make you scared, but if you keep picking on me, I will let Zippy know. And
Unfortunately, you've already done that.
let's see if I can get in here and. There we go. There we go. Hang on. I happen to have said clip. Here we go. Share. Stand by, everybody. Stand by. Incoming fact check. Let me check the yep.
That's it.
And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. The first time this century. What? But let's understand. So where the fuck are we right now? And as of today, there is not one member.
That is a fact check to end all fact checks. And you know what's funny? I mean, you heard what she said. You know what she meant. There was some lame Democrat talking head spokeshole, as they say, who said, "Oh, I know what she said, but that's what she meant was we're not in a big war right now with somebody." It's like, no, that's not what she meant. She lied. It's the same lie that she tells all the time. Not one member of the United States military is in harm's way while they're sitting here dodging bullets and stuff. It's like, as he said, then where the fuck are we right now?
That was pretty good.
That's
I did like that
awesome.
one. It was perfect. The timing was perfect as well.
Oh, those kids did great. I call them kids. They're in their 20s, but
They're kids.
they're kids. But God bless them. There's still good ones out there, carrying the flag for us.
Yep. So let it be known, we should be back next week. Is that correct?
Oh yeah. We're gonna be back.
gotta
Here.
work with-
I'm glad you said that. We're gonna be back next week. I think that's the 24th, and then the next October. What is it? October 1st, I think it is. Sonia Montejano has agreed to come on, and Sonia, a 20-year career in law enforcement. She's got some great insights into what it was like for a female coming into law enforcement back in those days, and I find her to be very insightful and very pleasant and very smart. So she'll be on, and I'm glad I got to preview that. I wanted to end on a really like a nice Mr. Rogers kind of note.
Okay.
This is completely off what we normally do, but have you ever heard of a tradition called telling the bees?
No.
No, you've never heard of the tell it to the bees or telling the bees?
No.
It is Western European, and they think it come from Celtic times, where beekeepers would inform the hives that they had of things that went on in their daily lives, of meaningful things like births or deaths or marriages, stuff like that. And they would go out and knock on the hive and whisper to the bees and tell them what was going on in their personal lives. It goes back to where they believed that bees were emissaries between this world and the next, and they could, pass information on to the next world. And they believed that if they didn't keep the bees informed, that the hive would either die out or they'd move on or they would stop producing honey. And I thought that was a really quaint, nice, old tradition. I also remember that Napoleon, his personal logo, if you would, was a honeybee. And he had it embroidered on a lot of his clothing because of, I've always thought there's something majestic about honeybees myself. I mean, it sounds like a big sissy now, but I think they're kind of magical, and I guess they are, because if we didn't have honeybees, we'd be in a lot of trouble right now. So
That's a good story.
I suggested if you have bees, go out and tell the bees what's going on, and hopefully they won't get so horrified that they completely move out and move to Florida like everybody else is doing.
Or they sting you if somebody's allergic to.
Yeah, you know, I had a friend when I was growing up. He had beehives and honeybees, and I would go into his yard, and you know, after the bees get to know you, they're harmless to you. I guess they know your scent or the way you look or the way you walk or what you wear or something. But you don't even need to wear the protective gear, and you don't need the smoke, you know, to doze them out a little bit. And Zippy is right. We need bees.
We need bees, Zippy.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you hear somebody say, "What it be," that's what they're talking about.
Be? And then there's the other side of.
Dude. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. There's the Africanized bee, which isn't really a honey bee, so you can swat the shit out of them all day long. But honeybees, I mean, there's just something about them. I mean, they're just peaceful little things. They're just trying to do their job. You know, I think they only live like a month, and they might make a teaspoon of honey in that period of time. But
stop it.
I know. It's getting sad now.
And then when they die, they have a ceremony for them where, whatever. But
I saw a video. I don't know how it came up on my YouTube, but I saw a video where they put a wasp in a what do you call it, honeycomb or whatever you call the bees nest?
Beehive.
Yeah, and the bees got so pissed and they just attacked.
Well,
the
yeah.
wasp.
You know, it's funny too. It's I don't know if you know this or not. There's male and female honeybees, and the male honeybees are known as drones, and that's where you hear that thing if somebody's a drone, because the honeybees, they don't produce shit. They walk around. They're fat. They're out of shape. They probably got bad cardio. You know, they're eating pizza and drinking beer, and all the female bees are out working their asses off for the queen, and the drones are the big fat lazy ones you'll see buzzing around. So it's a matriarchal society, you know, and they seem to do pretty well, except for humans are destroying their habitats. So everybody just, you know, honor the honeybee, okay? That's all I can say.
Who knew? You came here for cop stories?
Well, no, you came here to be informed and educated on things, right?
Informed and educated, and we do that.
Yeah.
Coming up, we got some good guests that are in the pipeline. We're going to be talking to people who we're not going to give it away, but there's going to be some good guests too. And you're going to pull up, water. Oh, look at so cool.
Oh man, look at that.
Ooh. Okay, never mind.
What did you get? Did you get Kamala to agree to come on?
Shh.
Oh,
It's not like she's doing news conferences or anything.
No, it's not like she's busy doing them. She should have a lot of time.
No, but yeah, we'll be back, and we're gonna kind of play with the schedule, see what it looks like. We may be back like week after week, maybe skip a week. You know, it just depends what we're feeling like. And when Mike's not out doing secret missions.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I was kind of concerned because our initial thought was, well, let's just have a guest every week and blah blah blah. But just the bros hanging out is fine too. We don't need to have a special person come on every day. Although Donovan is a special person, but he's also in the bro category. So
I'm a bro.
So you know, if worse comes, you'll know that we didn't have any luck getting people if Donovan's on.
I'd show up, no one answered the phone when they were calling. I'm just sitting on the couch. Yeah, I'll be on. Okay.
Well, I got nothing, right? But you know, I got some people in the pipeline, you know, that I think are going to be brave enough to come on, and some of them will be really good, and some of them will be awesome. Hey, just because you're in Cabo doesn't mean you can't look at the video afterward, pal. So just make sure you keep the link and look at it when you get home.
Gino, just so you know, I'm going to try and talk Mike into having a little nature channel on YouTube. 1019, the Watch Commander Nature Channel.
Join us again for another episode of Wild Kingdom.
That's that, and then you could be like Bob Ross, and we're gonna be painting this.
Yeah.
So,
Well, hey, if you don't like honeybees, get out of here.
the Bob Ross that cusses, that'll be fine.
Oh,
yeah. I keep thinking we're gonna leave, and then we get a comment.
Absolutely.
Oh, but Marlon Perkins, Mutual of Omaha?
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. That's right. Exactly.
Hey, and also, whether you're listening to this live or you're listening to it later, we're going to be doing this for a while because Mike and I plan on living a long time. And so if you want to be on the show and you want to pull up a bar stool, let us know because we will definitely have you in here and we'll talk about whatever. So that'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. If you feel like debasing yourself for an hour on a Tuesday night, give us a call. We'll take care of you.
That's right. That's right. And thank you, guys. We will be back soon.